Nick, I need to inform you that nobody here is scandalized by the concept of the word nigger, so you're not gonna get much of a response here. Cody, you hate shopping personally, but do you enjoy spending money? I mean, it doesn't do, like, shopping doesn't do anything for me either, right? And so, like, it boggles my mind that this person would literally go shopping and then come back clearly happier. It's like, how does that? I mean, I kind of get it, but at the same time, I kind of don't. Anyway, different people have different minds, I guess. Sometimes I like acquiring something I want, but I don't have too many wants. Yeah. Well, maybe you just set it aside until you think of something. Who are you gonna report to, Nick? Who are you gonna report to? Don't worry, Saffron. The dirt punching never ends. We will dirt punch somewhere else if we have to, but nothing is gonna stop us from punching dirt, Saffron. Nothing. It turns out the Dutch punching stream was too scandalous. Too much drama. Too much drama in the Dutch punching stream. Needs to be banned. You're probably right. I probably just feel not guilty not using my celebration stuff around when the celebration was. I'll tuck it away. Okay. Well, it's potential celebration, right, Cody? I mean, you always have the ability to celebrate later when you think of something. Yeah. Oh, another. I mean, that brings to mind, Cody. Oh, oops. It brings to mind, like, sometimes it's not the amount of money, but how you spend it that really makes the difference. So, you know, as we've just arrived to that conclusion, maybe 300 is not really the point, but the point that you should, you know, get something nice to eat. And maybe that doesn't even cost 300, maybe it doesn't even cost 30. The correlation between amounts of money spent and the amount of happiness gained is pretty tenuous. There's no fixed correlation. Nick, why don't you... are you getting enjoyment out of that, Nick? I feel like this is the exact same guy as a few weeks ago, similar style. Well, yeah, it's definitely a similar style. Like, I'm just wondering, like, do you derive pleasure from what you're doing? or do you gain something from what you're doing? And also, why do you seem obsessed with that word? Like it's just a sound that you make with your mouth. Why are you so interested in it? Alright, well I don't do this very often, but no, I banned him. Yeah, I banned him. And since I don't spend any time moderating my channel, he's never getting unbanned. Because I'm never gonna review this. I truly wonder though, too bad he didn't want to answer the question. It's like, why? Like, why? What do you get out of that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And also, like, why do you think that word is a big deal? It's a shame he didn't want to have an intelligent conversation about it. Because I truly want to know. Like, I don't understand these people. I will not anger the SKA Chui, for I will never be appealed. Basically, the system does not have the capacity to appeal decisions. Because it's just me. It's just me and I don't care enough. Although, I mean, I guess if they ever actually thought about it, actually thought about the kind of questions I asked, then they wouldn't be doing it. Because, like, well, I mean, what actually resulted, right? Nothing resulted from any of that. Literally just a waste of time for him. There's a cave here. And why that word? Right? Like, why? Why a word that was used to abuse black people in the United States, of all things? I mean, there are a lot of different words. I mean, look, if you're trying to piss me off, wouldn't you say something that would insult Asians? Like, if you're trying to get a response from me. No, but Saffron, like, yeah, he's trying to get a rise from a stranger. But I'm Asian. Wouldn't you use something appropriate to me? Like, I don't. Bizarre, right? Cody, you're surprised every time I say that. So I guess, like, you have to figure that they don't go to a stream find a black guy and then call them the insult, right? They just go into random streams, no matter who the person is, they just start typing, and you like, but that doesn't even insult anyone. Completely bizarre. I mean, there's a lot of options, you know, chink, gook. I don't know. There's plenty of. Not that I'm insulted by any of those either. It's like I don't care about those either. But there are a lot of options. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's correct. I don't understand why when black people use it, it's okay, but when other races use it, it's offensive. Well, it's because. Oh, is that is it serious or are you just saying? If it's a serious, okay, I'm gonna assume you're being serious, Wesley. It's because it was used as a weapon against them, and for them to take it and use it, it's like taking the weapon away from the racist person. Because I mean, I'm not saying okay. I mean, I'm not saying that I entirely endorse that line of thinking. I don't really know how I feel about it, but the principle, as far as I can understand, is that it's taking, because it was used as a weapon against them. It's taking the weapon away by removing the stigma that's attached to the word, although not allowing other people to use it. I guess it's not really that. It's not really that. It's that when it's like, what is the intent behind the word when it's used? It's not entirely straightforward. I'm not saying the logic is flawless. I think the logic is a little bit flawed. So yeah, I'm not saying the logic is entirely foolproof. But it's like taking the weapon away from someone else and holding it yourself. It feels hypocrite to me, kind of. Yeah, no, I mean, I'm not sure if I would say it's hypocritical. I would say there's unresolved contradictions. Which maybe is the same thing. I kind of feel like it helps the advancement of equality more than it helps at this point, but I understand it. Yeah, right. I think it's the intent. I think it is the intent behind the word as well as the word itself. I would also say that I think it is making things unnecessarily complicated. That, you know, that it is used as a term of endearment by black people. I mean, it will be easier to understand. Like, words are easier to understand if they have a consistent meaning. But going back to last week, Cody, words don't always have the same meaning all the time, right? It would certainly be easier if the word meant the same thing no matter who used it. But maybe we need to recognize that that's not how words work a lot of the time. It's I guess maybe the simple way to say it is that yes, it is only the one color. Maybe the way to mean is that the problem is not really the word, the problem is the person who says them. Which still promotes segregation by choice, the opposite of what they want to achieve. True. The word, I don't think it will ever escape the fact that it is racialized. I hate that word, but it is regarding race. Well, I mean, even but race itself is a bit of a fiction, but it is regarding a certain race. Yes, and I don't think there's any way to ever remove that. I mean, Negro just means black. Yeah, no, I would still conclude. I would still conclude that it's not really about the words, but about the people using them and the reasons they're using them. Which might not be entirely consistent with what everybody else believes. But maybe it's just a matter of time and change, because words change meaning over time. Maybe it's only complicated now because the word is literally in the middle of changing meaning. And maybe at some point in the future we will come to a new consensus on what that word means and how it's used, etc, etc. Like, words like Orientals. If you don't know, Oriental is a problem because it is based on a European perspective. I agree about time. The word itself may even be forgotten by everything but history books in 200 years. Or maybe just the feelings. Maybe the feelings attached to the word might have changed. So Oriental basically just means East. So just like Negro just means black. But it's been used in such a way that it has been used as a weapon against certain people. And Oriental is confusing because East only makes sense in the context of Europe, right? Yeah, go on, Cody. You're the bee's knees. Do bees even have knees, Cody? So Oriental just describes everything that is east of Europe. And so everything from Turkey to Japan is Oriental, and that's like dozens of different cultures. You know? So the categorizing dozens of different cultures under the same umbrella is ignorance, to say the least. I mean, it's not necessarily offensive, but it's ignorance, and then the ignorance allows offensive behavior because people don't understand. I'm glad you can joke about it, Cody. I'm glad you can joke about it, and people assume that it's not as bad as nigger. But what I'm trying to say is that the word Oriental has, like, the offense has reduced over time. Like these days, Orientalism is like an academic curiosity. Like people talk about Orientalism as a certain point in time when Europeans didn't really understand the East, and so they lumped everybody together. And so, you know, people are no longer as offended by being categorized as Oriental. Although people don't even do it anymore. Like, people don't just look at me and say, oh, hi, Oriental person. Although I find the word Chinaman to be really funny. Chinaman is, I guess it's also kind of offensive. But to me it's just funny because I'm literally a man from China. I'm gonna be honest, I'm a pretty fair and nice person, but I can also joke about anything to extremes as long as the company is right for it. My girl is Vietnamese and I make fun of her all the time. Well, Cody, just be careful about that. I mean, context, sure, but we are on the internet. And so anybody could be watching. Your mom could be watching. So, you don't know. I mean, words like chink and gook, as I said earlier, like I don't feel anything. Although, you know, I do understand that there are still people alive today for whom those words were used in the past as weapons against them, right? And so if they object to those words being used, I understand perfectly that they were used to abuse. And you can't really say that. You can't really say that the way other people use language is wrong, because again, language is a fluid thing. Like, you know, the way we use language change over time. Like, you can't tell people, well, that's not what dank means, because the word dank has been appropriated by other people now. You know, stuff like that. So if that's how they want to use it, that's how they're gonna use it. You can't stop them. What are you gonna do? Fine them for using language wrong. It's not really how language works. I'm not sure if my mother has any respect left for my foul mouth at this point anyway. I think the important thing, Cody, is that you're not misunderstood, right? Like, you say the wrong word to a stranger, they might think you mean something different from what you actually mean. So if, like, you know, and then that's really, I guess, my point. Again, coming back to the point that it's not really about the words, but about the people who use them and the intent with which they use them. You can still offend people through misunderstanding. And understanding is both people's responsibility, right? You can't just say that, oh, it's your fault for misunderstanding. No, because you said the thing. I mean, you said the thing in a way that's unclear, and that contributed to the misunderstanding. So you do have to, but as you say, depends on the context.